Hey yo, so guys, it's your boy Dadscap. Welcome to Market Pulse weekly recap into the CS2 economy. Player count is still consistently hitting an average daily peak in the mid 1.4 million players. The market cap stopped its climb and just screeched to a sudden halt, thus ending just over a month of uninterrupted growth. Now you may be wondering if the release of the sealed Genesis terminal and the reveal of the infamous arms dealer has got anything to do with this sudden stop. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the indexes. Liquids are actually down 0.45%, RIP. Broke towards the roar, pulling through and gained 2.70%. Mids followed closely behind at 2.33%, and high tiers actually did okay for once, gaining 1.40%. Considering the fact that Liquids consistently did a phenomenal job every week for over a month now, effectively carrying the entire market on their back, it's not surprising to see that the pullback there is also equal to a broader market pullback. 0.45% is not enough to consider this an outright correction, so no need to panic. Yet. But the performance will likely set the pace for the next leg up, or confirm whether the broader rally is actually running out of juice. Knives and Gloves actually got remarried, congratulations, both indexes showing an extraordinary performance of just about 10% when put together. All quiet on the extra cosmetics front, agents have started showing the first signs of recovery after last week's pullback, while Charms unsurprisingly continue to be a disappointment and the bane of their bloodline. And finally, for the cases index, 2020 to 2022 cases continued on their trajectory, unconcerned with what the rest of the market was doing, true GigaChat behavior. The market pulse this week is choking. Well, it was bound to happen sooner or later. Last month was actually kind of psychotic. But this pullback comes from a mix of factors, none of which had anything to do with the Genesis collection, despite how badly it was received. Nope, what finally made the market slam the brakes on everything were actually the Chinese pumpers, who had decided that they'd had enough and rug pulled everything that pumped basically all at once. The EG Hollow Stockholm 2021 was the first casualty of this treacherous act, and the betrayal came so out of nowhere that everyone kind of went, hold up, and decided it was time to sell whatever they had in their inventory that went up in price over the last few weeks. So yeah, it was a rough week for play skins overall, but the same cannot be said for cases, especially for my GOAT, the Fracture case finally entering the rare pool, which brings us to... Welcome to Case Crackdown, where we break down the happenings in the case market over the past week, and this week, 8.1 million cases were opened, a decent increase of just around 400,000 compared to last week, of which the active cases share crumbled after losing the fever case going from 50 to 43%, purchasable case decreased from 34 to 32%, and rare and discontinued cases, with the fever case joining the ranks of the rare cases, increased bigly going from 15 to 24%. That's my GOAT. The number one purchasable case was the fever case, which seems to have frozen at 2.1 million cases open, so same as last week. The top active case was the Revolution case, coming back strong with a 40% increase in its unboxing numbers compared to the same day last week, the fuck, totaling 950,000 opened. The battle between it and the Dreams and Nightmares case every week is legendary for real. The number one rare case was my absolute go, the Fracture case. Despite all the heat it caught for being the most liquid case for literally 3 months straight, it finally ascended from its lowly active case status and entered Valhalla through Valve's grace, mashallah. Godspeed Fracture case, first they hated you, then they loved you, and now they'll miss you. The most secret case was the Kilowatt case, my new favorite cyberbullying victim. Yet again, the number of active listings just under 500k, so basically no change once again, despite unboxing numbers going up. It's just a matter of time. I can be patient. The case with the most potential was... Oh, the GOAT is already back! What's up, buddy? I mean, yeah, no shit's got the most potential. As soon as it was 30% confirmed that they had entered the rare pool, everyone just jumped on it like a bunch of maniacs. So no need to dwell on it, and let's just move on to the biggest crash out, the Shadow case, who was the victim of the most tragic price correction I've ever seen in a case so far. I have no idea what the hell happened. Its price spiked over 25% last week for unknown reason, but I'm guessing that when people found butt plugs inside instead of a knife, it was quick selling season. Well, tough luck, buddy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that goofy bell to never miss another market recap in the future. Welcome to Winners and Losers. Starting off with the winning cases, the Fracture case is obviously sitting at the top, up almost 80%. Right behind it is the Gallery case, still riding the high of its soon trademark discontinuation tease. And way down in third, we find the Recall case, somehow up nearly 8%. No idea why, could be because of the gloves, but we'll confirm that later. As for losers, it's mostly boring stuff for real. The shadow case is kinda funny though. Last week it was like literally almost on top of the world and now it just cratered out of nowhere. Meanwhile, the Vanguard and Wildfire cases are so irrelevant, you can pay me enough to care about them, so I'll just pretend they don't exist. Moving on to winning play skins, the insanity of the past few weeks has finally come to an end, so no more 100% moonshots. The only real winner this week was the M4A4 in living color minimal wear from the Snakebite case, gaining almost 11%, the AK-47 Azima from Danger Zone, and the M4A1S Mecha Industries from the Gamma case weren't so much winners as they were the least bad losers, since they both still finished in red. Careful, this one's gonna hurt. Yeah. Very tough week for former winners, especially the M4A1S Leaded Glass and AK Point Disarray, which both lost over 50% of their value. Holy moly, that shit crazy. And my arch nemesis, the AK Phantom Disruptor, quote unquote, only dropping by 48%. In winning knives, a few interesting moves. The Karambit and Navaja Dopplers both gain around 3%, with the Navaja almost touching 4% somehow. But the real standout was the Paracord Vanilla, up nearly 8%. Since it can only be found in the Shattered Web and Fracture cases, and with the Shattered Web long being discontinued, the shift to the rare pool of the Fracture case is almost certainly the reason behind the spike. Knife losers were mild in comparison, dipping at most 2%. The only notable point is that both Skeleton and Paracord Dopplers from the Fever case showed up here, which could be a signal that players expect the next Armory case to share the same set of knives. Gloves tell a weird story. Winners included the Driver Gloves Reason, the red and black tie minimal wear, with the red almost hitting a 30% gain, and that lines up with my theory for why the Recoil case might have pumped out of nowhere. But the losers immediately humbled that theory as well as my ego, since every single one of them also came from the Recoil case. Granted, the biggest drop was only 12%, so gains weren't fully offset, but it just shows how freaking random these prices can be sometimes. Fuck. Welcome to ROI Radar, where we're looking for a money printer hidden in the armory or the in-game store. Starting off with the Warhammer 40k Trader Starters capsule with an odds profit of 24%, an unboxing ROI of 97%, and an expected value of 96 cents with 3 cents loss. The best item is the Alpha Legion 2 at $5.99. Next up is the Warhammer 40k Imperium sticker capsule with an odds profit of 33%, an unboxing ROI of 100%, and an expected value of 99 cents, so $0 break even. The best item is the Sisters of Battle 2 at $3.99. And finally, the best capsule in the in-game store is the N3 sticker capsule with an odds profit of 27%, unboxing ROI of 102%, and an expected value of $1.01, so a 2 cents gain. The best item was the Chabo at $4.06. Moving on to the armory, the third best collection were the Small Arms Charms with an odds profit of 17%, unboxing ROI of 109%, and an expected value of $1.31, so an 11 cents gain. The best item was the Baby Carrot T at $43.95. Next up was the Graphic Design Collection with an odds profit of 16%, unboxing ROI of 159%, and an expected value of $2.54, so 94 cents gain! The best item was the OBS CMYK at $487. And finally, the best collection in the armory was the Character Craft Stickers Collection with an odds profit of 40%, unboxing ROI of 201%, and an expected value of 80 cents, so a 40 cents gain! Oh god, the best item was the Googly Eye at $24.08. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace!